Hello, everyone. I do want to give a little more time for people to join. Thanks for the sub. So, okay. To stretch out the time a little bit, while we wait for people to join, invite your friends if you want to. Anyone who needs a deck review, get them in here. So, okay, let's talk about why this stream was late, because it's actually pretty funny. I rolled out of bed, right, because I wake up at 4:30 like some sort of degenerate. And I am so sleepy, so sleepy. I do what everyone does when you first wake up, and I scroll through YouTube Shorts for like 15 minutes, and then Twitter, and then, you know, whatever. And then once I'm nice and woken up, I roll out of bed, and I get on my computer, and my not mean at all. And I look at my computer and nothing's working. So I'm like, oh great. Why am I not connected to the internet? I look outside and I try to like figure out what's going wrong. Like none of the lights are on the router. It's like so confusing. My grandpa's running around and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, the breaker blew a fuse. It blew the only fuse that's like powering just the router and like a few appliances in the garage." So, that's like one of two breakers that would have to explode in order for me not to be able to stream. Which was quite hilarious because which is like horrible timing, you know. So he has to run down to the store, get another breaker, and then he came back, installed it, etc., so on and so forth. Pretty funny. Anyway, I mean, the turnout isn't quite as large as last time. Normally, about right now, we'd have 40 people or so. But that being said, that's not going to stop us. Let's look at a few decks. And perhaps the people just trickle in, you know? Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit... No, it's about the same time as last time. No. I was going to try to stream off of a hotspot, but it was just way too slow. It wouldn't have worked. Okay. Let's pull up some deck lists, huh? Let's do... Oh, yeah, let's do a new commander. I see the good old Scarecrow, man. How does this sound to everyone? Doom songs, are you here? Yeah, no, I saw the new commander. I'm gonna hop on it. Out of all the commanders that were new, this is definitely one that interested me. Let's sort by mana value. Okay, great. Let's get the price data set up. There's a the Discord has at the very top, that channel is where you submit your decks. It is called temporary stream or live stream deck review submission. Yo. Medusa joined. Sick. That's my mutual on Twitter. I need to give her the friend of deer role. Okay, great. We're gonna be talking about Rendmaw here today, though. So let's do it. Let's hop on. Lock in. I love Phyrexian Reclamation. That is hilarious. So you can like loop creatures with... Oh, it's so sick, actually. Let's talk about dual types, because that's what this guy's all about. For those that don't know, this is a Scarecrow commander, new commander, Menace Reach. When it enters, and whenever a card with 2 or more card types, you cast one. Each player creates a tap 2/2 Blackbird creature token with flying. And they're goaded for the rest of the game. I like the artifact lands. Oh yeah, no, we definitely need an Enduring Vitality. You're totally right. Though it is hard to say what that card's going to cost. Are we on a budget here, Doom Songs? Not over 200. Tell you what, Enduring Vitality, that was an incredible suggestion. We'll just lock that in, and we'll take the pre-release price, just to be fair, because they'll typically go down. Sometimes they go up, but we'll just take the pre-release cost at face value here. Enduring Vitality is incredible, because you have all these goated birds. You might not want to attack with them. You tap them down. Also, Enduring Vitality triggers your commander. Like, pretty sick. You can use them pre-combat to make mana. Seems pretty good to me. What's the glistening oil theorem here? Is it just you cast it on Rendmaw? That I'm not too sure about. Each player loses 2 life, you draw 2 cards. I think you can have just Knight's Whisper. Give it to other people's birds. I'm a little bit less interested in that sort of thing. What might be better for you, honestly, is a Calculating Lich. I do want to talk about the mana in this deck too, because I definitely think it's suboptimal. Honestly, Calculating Lich is probably not going to be the worst for you. Whenever a creature attacks one of your opponents, that player loses 1 life. This is any of your opponents attacking an opponent or you. It just adds a ping on top of each attacker. It's pretty funny. Though I could definitely see it being too weak if you wanted to go like more higher power. But at a casual table, this is a cute card for this deck. I am also typically not a big... So I think you have a lot of efficiency issues with this deck. And what I mean by this is you have Crushing Disappointment. You have Death Sprout. That's pretty funny. But I don't know if you want to be raking. So, okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I think you don't want Death Sprout. I don't think you want Crushing Disappointment. You definitely don't want Chain Devil. These cards, what they are is they're too expensive for their rate. Far too expensive for their rate. Binding of the Old Gods, I can let it slide. It's any non-land permanent. But these other cards, their mana value is just way too high for what they're doing. Would Ghoulish Impetus be any good? I'm not really too interested in that. We're already goading all the birds forever. We don't need to goad. Yeah, Chain Devil does say non-token, but hear us out here. Just run like a normal kill spell. Or you already have a Cursed Marauder. You probably don't need anything else. You already have a Cursed Marauder, Soul Shatter. The Debt to the Commies, like, we're getting a little bit too cute. I think you already... You're in green. Okay, listen. You are in green and black. You can destroy enchantments if need be. You don't need these black enchantment removal cards. Withering Torment, I could probably get behind. A little bit, because it is a little efficient to kill a creature and an enchantment. But you have Beast Within, Putrefy. Well, this can't hit an enchantment, but, like, you don't need Debt to the Kami. You understand? Like, because you also have Soul Shatter to deal with Voltron. Like, you're set. Removal's good. Fade into Antiquity, like, I'm not sure if this is what you want to be running. Fade into Antiquity is probably one of the worst. Like, you already have Haywire Might. Yeah, Sonic of the Dryads, that's a little bit of a pricey card, though. I'm probably not going to add it. Pest Infestation, Search for Library, put it in Battlefield tapped. What Snowland are you running? So I do hope you know that Snow is actually a super type and doesn't work with your commander. Did you know that? Snow is not a card type. It doesn't count towards Delirium, nothing like that. Okay. Just making sure. What I do want to see you have is Massacre Worm. I'm surprised to not see it in the deck already. Yeah, you're just using Snow Basics. That's totally cool. I was just making sure you knew. You need Massacre Worm, though. You're making 2/2s for all of your opponents, and then you just kill them all, and then you apply that kill them all to the opponents now. Hopefully you can see the cooking happening here with the massacre worm. All right, you have Agent of Erebos, Tormod's Crypt Keeper. Can we talk about Stone Speaker Crystal? Do we need the third piece of Graveyard Hate? Especially on a 4-mana rock that ramps you to 6 when you... I guess ramping to 6 isn't the worst. I need to check out BioBlight really quick. No, I don't think we're really profiting. Like, we don't have a Blood Artist, I don't think. Yeah, there's no Blood Artist here. IR is cute, but I need to see how many black sources you have. You have Vault of Whispers, Valgavoth's Lair, 10 Swamps, Restless Cottage, Nurturing Peatland, Leechrin Swamp, Golgari Rot Farm, kinda. That's, like, pretty bad. I'm not gonna count it. 7. So you have 15 black sources? 21, let's count it, let's say 20. This is way too low to be running Iara. Oh yeah, we can run Assassin's Trophy. Let's do a non-Assassin's Creed printing. Okay, so here's my issue. Cover of Darkness? No, I don't like it. All the birds are going to be tapped anyway because they're attacking. Cover of Darkness gives, creatures of the chosen type have... Can someone tell me why Cover of Darkness would be good? You choose bird, I imagine? Fear. Do you know what fear does? They can't be blocked except by artifact creatures and or black creatures. Do you know what you're giving to all of your opponents? Untapped black creatures that they can just block with. The birds are black creatures, guys. This is not cooking. This is not cooking. They have flying already, guys. You don't need them to be blockable. And plus, I also added a beautiful calculating lich here, which will put the damage through anyway. So I don't think we're cooking with Cover of Darkness. Goated creatures can block. They absolutely can block. Okay, so going back to the deck list. You had way too much sort of high mana value stuff that was just not paying you off enough. Like this is... You have a lot of cards here that are just too expensive. Cover of Darkness is just does nothing. The one target card from your graveyard. No. Refurbished Familiar I like. Scrapwork Rager. I like all these artifact creatures. I think you could do more here. I'm enjoying this. Yeah, Arcbound Condor could be, like, pretty good. This is yeah, whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, target creature and opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn. And how many artifacts are you rocking here? What's here? 38 artifacts. There are 38 artifacts that will give opponents' creatures -1/-1. Would Ornithopter and Memnite be anything? No, I wouldn't add those to the deck. Like, sure, it gives you an extra 2/2 bird, but you know what else does? If you just flickered Rendmaw. Like, I would rather add, like, the first Conjurer's Closet over the first Memnite. The birds enter tap, so they don't block anyway. So, okay, there you go. There's another reason why you don't want to add Cover of Darkness. Oh, yeah, you could modular onto your commander. It is a Scarecrow. That's a good call. Is this a Noxious Gear Hulk deck? I don't think so. I'm typically not a believer in Noxious Gear Hulk. It gets a little too expensive. What's the thought behind Trading Post here? Can someone explain? Or specifically, Doomsong, can you explain? What's the tech here? I am definitely not in for Bow of Nylea. I do want to say I do not like this card in this deck. It is two types. Good job, but I'm not a believer. It just doesn't do enough. Hmm. Is there not something better that does this? Like, okay, Fanatical Offering is mostly just worse than Deadly Dispute. Just getting card backs and for the card draw with Trading Post. I think it's a little too fair. You're already doing that a lot. You do have a lot of artifacts. It might be worth. I'll keep it. I'll keep it. So I think let's just get like a Milliken. I think you're actually going to be profiting here from Milliken and Ornithopter of Paradise. Or you already have Ornithopter of Paradise. The old border threw me off. Erratic Porter wouldn't be too good. I don't think. That's the self bounce, or that's the bouncer one. Um, I think you're a little cheap on lands here. If we look at like 5-drop where your commander is, you're gonna have a 50% chance of playing this on curve. Like, sure, you have ramp. I think you could do with going to 37. Okay. That's 100 main deck. There are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield. If you don't put the card on the battlefield, put it into your hand. Is this actually good? Like, I know it's 2 types. Like, this is the conceit of the deck, is that we're doing 2... I like the Unearthed creature. No, this is an activated ability. Do we have like a creature that we can cast repeatedly from the graveyard that is multiple types? Yes, the great there's a thread, there's a chat in the Discord. There's a text channel specifically for this. Let's do Are we opposed to Necrons? Because Anarchy seems pretty good. Anarchy. Check out Clay Revenant. No, this is an activated ability. I'm not sure if I'm in on the Glistening Oil plan. Okay, yeah. I like Anarchy. Interesting. Okay. No, it's not the deck. It's the very first text channel in the Discord. Okay, great. Uh, Razor Lash Transmogrant. I don't know. I don't think I'm too big a believer. Thanks for the sub. I was thinking about biotransference. I think it's just gonna end up being 4 mana do nothing. There's no way that isn't Danny. Sorry, that's a friend of mine. Anyway, I like most of this deck going on. Okay, is the joke with these that they're just two types? Because I feel like you could just be doing better. Like, yes, they have these. You know what else has those? Like nameless inversion. Run this instead. Nameless inversion. It's a removal spell. Like it's -3 toughness. It's like Black Lightning Bolt for 2 mana, and also it has Changeling. Just run this. Like it's just a better card. Don't run the bad equipment. So, yeah, Massacre Worm is like definite add though. Oh yeah, you had Nameless Inversion in the sideboard. I like that way better than the just random. Let's check out the Kindred stuff. Ooh, yeah, you have a good point there. I definitely think you should be running the Retrace. Formless Genesis. This card's really good, and you're gonna get it in the precon. Let's check out Crown of Doom. Oh, that's hilarious. It's awful, but it's hilarious. I do enjoy that quite a bit. Um, okay, I think we've cooked a little. Let's take a more scrutinizing eye to some of the non-twice. Note that they can't give it back to you. Yeah, of course. Patchwork banner on birds over the mana speaker, over the stone speaker crystal. I think I like that change. Patchwork banner. You know what might be better than patchwork banner? Honestly, is probably something like heraldic banner. I probably like this one a little bit more. Just name black, and then you also get on your Dockside Chef, your Ethereum. Like, it doesn't give toughness, but you're pumping all these black creatures, right? Like this on black will do it. Cloudstone Curio is cute. Note that Cloudstone Curio is only non-artifact permanents. I do think that's a little bit of a spew with this artifact-focused deck. You know what I would love to see, actually? This is an actual incredible ad that I don't think you have yet. The birds trigger it. Isn't it non-token? Let's see. Nope, you're right. No, birds trigger it. That's actually pretty good. Coat of Arms would be funny. I'm actually surprised that that isn't in the deck yet. That's a really good call out. Each creature gets +1/+1 for each other creature in play that shares a creature type with it. So all the birds get pumped, even your opponent's birds. And they're goated. That's pretty stellar, right? What are we dig upping for? Is it just this is just a land that's also a tutor later in the game? I like it. Lignify's good. That's a fun two typed enchantment. One or more tokens, that many plus a food. So every 3 tokens you draw a card off Peregrine Took. Okay. This deck's getting better. I like Raking Canopy. Thank you for the sub. We just need a couple cuts. I think it's going to be Skeleton Shard and Trading Post. You already have so much returning. Hang on. So, hear me out, guys. There's one more addition I want to make to this deck. It's everyone's favorite elf Phyrexian zombie. Let's get Glissa the trader in here. Every time an opponent's bird dies that we give them, we get to return an artifact to our hand, including our artifact creatures. Like, that seems way better than the skeleton shard, right? Imagine a huge board wipe happens or something. Like, come on. That's pretty sick. I think we can go down a Putrefy. We added the Condor for more removal. You already have Assassin's Trophy, Go for the Throat, Nameless Inversion, Beast Within, Soul Shatter, Lignify, Binding of the Old Gods, Baleful Mastery. You can count Dig Up, honestly. Pest Infestation. I mean, that's 10. Haywire Might, that's 11. All right, that feels pretty good, right? Good amount of removal. I love the Ancestral statue, by the way. IR is still in. I think the Enduring Vitality makes it a little easier to cast. But honestly, IR is really hard sell. I want to cut her so bad, but she's also really funny with the Blackbirds. I think you have to be very careful. It's a triple black card on turn 3. You're not going to be casting her on turn 3. That's a concession you have to make. Babala Saga? Probably. That's actually a better ad than... I'm a Babala Saga enjoyer here. 3 permanents, and if there were 3 or more card types among the sacrificed permanents, each opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life and draw 3 cards. Sounds pretty good. You sacrifice 3 things, draw 3 cards because you're a Delirium deck. All right, let's take a more scrutinizing eye to stuff that is not 2 card types. I mean, I'm just hard-pressed to find another remove, like, target. Like, maybe Bad Moon. So having 3/3s to 2/2s does feel pretty nice. Artifact or creature. Yeah, you have like a little bit of an artifact aristocrats theme going through. I think we're pretty sold on this. This is pretty set. No, this is fine. Into the North's cool. What I would like to see with Into the North, though, is what's the one card name? Not Dark Depths, even though Dark Depths is funny. What is it called? Yeah, just Mouth of Renam. That card's pretty stellar. You can just turn this into a card that's like 7 mana, deal 4 damage to target creature. And the cost is you run a colorless land. What's the joke with Mirex here? Is it just that it makes sack fodder? Yeah, I think I'm the most slow on that one. You want to cut a colorless for a colorless most of the time. It just makes fodder, yeah. I think you can do without that. You're already creating fodder with your commander, with your other friends here. I agree, Mirex can be a good card. I just don't think it's for this deck. I think a Mouth of Renam would be better for the Into the North. Okay, great. I think you've cooked. I think just the card quality was a little bit low. I think we've solved that card quality problem. Great. Here's the link to the deck list. Yippee. All right, let's check out another deck. Thanks for the gifted subs. 5 of them. Incredible. Thanks for the submission, by the way. It was really nice to take a look at that new card. Yo, I'm kind of in for a few of these decks right now. Okay, hang on. I just saw a deck that my friend actually tried building, and I'm super interested. This is Boros lands with Zerta the Dawnwaker. I'll keep it in mind. I maybe someday I'll have monetized deck review slots, but yeah. By the way, if you are watching on YouTube, feel free to check out Twitch. I have ads currently turned off for right now. So if you just want to earn channel points, I stole a couple of channel point rewards from Eve's stream, stuff like that. So tell you what, we're going to go by sort by not categories but type, and sort by mana value. So I have a feeling that we are going to be comboing here with Ruin Ghost. Scryfall random card. Thriving Isle. I love this card. I'm a big fan of this in Cube. The Thriving Lands are like my go-to budget cycle after the new ones for Modern Horizons. All right, but I have a feeling we're going to be comboing here with Ruin Ghost. Somehow. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Ads should be off. Pre-roll should be off. But if you're getting ads, a little bit interesting, because I definitely have ad breaks turned off. I think there might be ads when you join the stream, but not like when you're watching, though. Sorry to hear that, though. Yeah, after the stream, Eve. Sounds good. Okay, great. Well, I don't think there's anything I can do about the pre-rolls then. That's a bummer, though. So here we have Zerta. I do not see Burnish. Okay, I do see Burnished Heart. Sacrifice X lands, put 2 X. Do we have not trying to have too many combos in it? You have Ruin Ghost. Come on, let's combo. I think I see Weathered Wayfarer. I see Ruin Ghost. I see Zerta. I see Walking Atlas. I see Abstruse Archaic. I see not Grabby Giant. That doesn't count. A Scare Tiller is pretty funny, actually, with the card I'm about to recommend. How about Drum Bellower? White Plume Adventurer. Stuff like this. Are you a fan? Because, like, imagine, like, Ruin Ghost every single turn. You can just do it each turn, even your opponent's turns. I am a big fan of Geode Rager, and I definitely think that should be in the deck. I'm scared of my card draw and mana base. But yeah, I definitely think... Ooh, my gosh, my voice cracked. Jeez. I definitely think that's worthwhile. Really quickly, can I ask why you don't have like the best one? It's the double white card. Shoot, what's the name? I think what you want to be doing here is you want to be running every single off color fetch you can. You should be having all of the off color fetches in addition to Fabled Passage, in addition to Prismatic Vista. You want all of them, and then you run. I think the card's name is Brought Back. Yeah, this card. So you run all of the on color fetches, and you run Brought Back, and you bring back fetch lands with Brought Back. Like, this is super ramp. Yeah, Cosmic Intervention would work as well. But Brought Back is just like the less setup variation. Do you have a Myria? I don't see a Myria either, and I feel like that would be an incredible addition. Also, diversifying your land names, adding like some basics that are non-snow covered, just getting like a bunch of different land names. Like I don't see a lens, so extraplanar lens. So like diversify these land names, get Field of the Dead in here. Get Talon Gates of Madara in. Like, these are the cards that you should be considering, in my opinion. I mentioned Brought Back. That's the only other card that I'm, like, thinking about that does that, Eve. Because I see, like, a few other ones in here. For the Artifact Sunstone. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Okay, tell you what. You can have 2 basics of mountain and 2 basics of plains, or even as low as 1. And get Field of the Dead in here. Get these names diversified. Get Field of the Dead in here. Get Talon Gates of Madara. I would like to see a Solemn Simulacrum, even, honestly. I do like that Zerda's activated ability can be... Like, Talon Gate should be in this deck yesterday. This is 2 mana with Zerda. Put this into play and ramp, and then target creature. Yeah, like, I think Horizon of Progress was already in here. Yeah, I see it. It's already in. With this many... The only thing is you probably can't run Terrain Generator if you start cutting up basics. Is Redemption Choir... Return target permanent card. Yeah, that would work. But I don't know. The Redemption Choir is just kind of worse than Sarah Paragon, in my opinion. Core Cartographer. I don't think Amiria is a Plains, is it? Yeah, it's not a Plains. Core Cartographer cannot get Amiria. I think you should have Amiria Shepherd, though. It's actually not the worst card to be running. Let's talk about cuts, though. I've talked a lot about what to add. Let's talk about, like, some things to take out. Ooh, really quickly, I would like to see Crucible of Worlds as well. With Dark Depths, Thespian Stage, you should probably be considering a Crucible of Worlds type package. Can I ask what you're doing with devastating summons and stuff? Or is this just like, is there a cute combo going on here? Or is this just like, I'd make 2 big idiots and sack all my lands and then lose to Wrath of God? Like, they don't even have evasion. That is sick. I love Planar Birth here. Reality Scramble, Hugh the Entwood. Okay, I'm kind of digging these cards though. Goblin Trenches feels a little bit weak, even though it's a little bit cute. I'm sure everyone who likes Boil would like an Urborg for islands as well. Okay, okay. What about Retreat to Emeria? This is just worse than Felidar Retreat. It gives creatures +1/+1 versus getting a counter. Like, this is kind of framing, but I don't think you need multiple of this effect. Yeah, we've already talked about fetch lands. This deck needs more. I think Surveyor Scope. No one is going to control more lands than you after we're done. Surveyor Scope has got to go. There's not a single player who's going to have more lands than you if this deck works right. Aerial Surveyor, I think, might be a little bit cute. Yeah, if defending player controls no more lands than you, this is not going to happen more than once. You know what I'd like more than Surveyor Scope is land tax even, like, but I wouldn't add land tax either. Arcane Spyglass feels really slow. Yeah, this is another card that I'm kind of not interested in. The Sand Scout, like, what deserts are you getting? You're getting Lazotep Quarry and Dunes of Dead. You should probably have some graveyard hate in your mana base, and that can either be Pit of Offerings, or it could be the desert that you sacrifice to exile all graveyards. I forgot the name of it. Scavenger Grounds. Still though, really cool deck concept. I'm a fan. I think looping Burnished Heart with like a Sun Titan might be very worthwhile. You have Sun Titan. Honestly, get the Sarah Paragon in here. You can replay lands off Sarah Paragon and then flicker the lands that you bring back with Ruin Ghost to keep them forever. Kind of interesting. Yeah, I'm a fan. Those are my thoughts. Let's check out some more deck lists, say. Yeah, some channel lands could be good as well. Let's talk. Let's look at this deck. This deck looks pretty sick. Yosei Control. I love Yosei. Okay, I already see a couple changes I want to make to this deck, so let's duplicate this stuff and get started. Or at least I already have a few recommendations anyway. Okay. Let's start with Eidolon of Rhetoric. Archon of Emeria is just better. Yeah, we need the Emeria arc. Do you have like a reason for it to be an enchantment creature, or is it just like I don't know any other creature rule of laws, so I'm gonna put this one in. You could enlighten tutor for it. That's not nothing, actually. Oh, it's all on a budget, less than 5 ticks. I think I can actually, through Moxfield, um, more. I think you can set the price settings to be, change price settings left side. Below preview card. I see. Change price settings. Okay, I'm just blind. Okay, let's look at text. Let's look at text. Yes, it's in the Discord. The first text chat. All right, under 5 ticks. I see. So Archon of Emeria is too many ticks. In that case, yeah, Eidolon of Rhetoric. Okay, I see. So we're keeping it around 5 ticks. So the combo here is to get Gift of Immortality and a sack piece. I like that. So I think you need... You have Heliod's Pilgrim, Hushwing Griff, Moonblessed Cleric. This is where I'm starting to get a little bit iffy here. Do you care what deck building format we use? No, not really. Moxfield is preferred, but you can do an Architect deck. We just did one. It doesn't have to be less. Just how I built it before. So any upgrades are good. Okay, great. I think Archon of Emeria would be so unbelievably good in this deck, and I need to explain why. Non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. Do you know who isn't getting their untapped steps? Your opponents. It's just simple math. Like, you don't want to ever let them play Plains, Swords to Plowshares, your commander. Or, like, well, if you have a sack outlet, it's not a big deal, but you know what I mean. Or play Island, Stifle your commander's trigger, the Gift of Immortality trigger. Awful. Game losing. If that land that just came into play was non-basic, that is the world where you want Archon of Emeria instead of Eidolon of Rhetoric. Yeah, I like Dauntless Dismantler too. In our world of treasures, you want Dauntless Dismantler. I could see adding Thalia. Yeah, the Thalia is already in the deck. There you go. Artifact creatures and lands your opponents control. Yeah, we're cooking here. This with Gift of Immortality is disgusting. Ugh. Yuck. Oh, this deck's awesome. I love this. Okay, I do not like Revoke Existence. Here's the thing. Most of the time, I would rather have Forsake the Worldly. This is that card, but it's 1 more mana, but you get cycling 2. The alternative to this card whenever a creature you control dies, exile it. At the beginning of an end step, if you control no creature, sacrifice Promise of Loyal Storm or Eternal cards. This has anti-synergy with the card you want to be running. Like, you want to be Gift of Immortality on Yosei. Let's go. I think what you want here, in this situation, is a Oblivion Ring style effect. Why do I prefer Moxfield? It looks nice. I don't like how Architect looks. That's just the honest truth of the matter. So you don't want Fiend Hunter, I don't think. What you want is an enchantment-based one, so you can tutor it with Enlightened Tutor. I think where you will be cooking the most here is exile target, type enchantment, non-land. You do want to hit any non-land. Sort, MB. Static Prison? No. Sheltered by Ghost isn't also doing it either. So okay, we can just go for a Banishing Light variant. It's probably sealed from existence. Or we could just rock with, I like the Ward 3 on sealed from existence. But there's also, Grasp of Fate, which should probably be the first one. Big fan of Grasp of Fate. Because you can get this off Enlightened Tutor. And then now you don't have to worry about running that clunky 2 mana. 1. Love Martyr's Cause. Okay. Is 35 lands enough? Let's do a random Scryfall card. Awesome. Definitely one of the most funny artifacts of all time. Who doesn't love some good Howling Mine, Ebony Alanatsuki type deal? Touch the Spirit Realm. I think we're getting a little too silly because I don't know if we're really flickering a lot that we care about. You have White Orchid Phantasm. Tell you what might be pretty good here is Deep Gnome Terra. I like Deep Gnome Terramancer. Play Spirit or Arcane spell. You may search a library for enchantment creature. Oh, nice for an Aura card. That's a cute addition. I like Tallowisp in here. Yeah. You can submit one that isn't finished yet. Just make sure you mark it as such. Karmic Guide, Revelark, Sun Titan, Brand Abolisher. I like Remorseful Cleric. Oh yeah, of course. No, like you said we can go above budget now, so I'm going above budget now. Oh man, Helia of Aven Mind Sensor Knight of the White Orchid combo is hilarious. Secrets trigger from the graveyard, return trigger creature from the graveyard to the play. Sick. Yeah, this deck is just gross, man. Power 1 or less. What are you getting back with Vesperlark? Is it just Kami of False Hope? It's Vesperlark, Heliod's Pilgrim. Yeah, like, I don't know if I'm really in on Vesperlark here. I feel like you'd be pretty happy. Let's take... this is just like a sack outlet for Yosei. Hear me out. I think more than anything, you probably want... Man, there's like a 6 sacrifice outlet for white that I'm just blanking on the name of. It's not Martyr's Cause. Fanatical Devotion. This card's wicked. Sacrifice a creature, regenerate target creature. Ooh. Pretty brutal. Yeah, I like that. Duskrow's Reliquary. That's a good call. It does require a target, so someone does need a creature in play. That can be you or an opponent, though. Like, so long as you're not, like, removing your opponent's creature the same turn like you want to, then there's no reason to not run this. It's just a sack outlet. I mean, most of the time, your opponents are going to have at least one creature. Anyway, Duskrow's Reliquary is also great. Sacrifice an artifact or creature as an additional cost. Ward 2 enters. Exile target artifact or creature in opponent's control. Caregiver. Check this out. No, I'm not a big fan of Caregiver. It just, the mana gate, the effect, it's just like all very not the best. Like even Trading Post, I'm a little bit iffy on. Moon Silver Key, you're getting what? Ashnod's Altar or something? Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with getting rid of Trading Post. I am a big fan of Lifeline here. That is hilarious. How do you feel about adding that? We just talked about this package. Brought back. You have it. Let's get a couple fetch lands in here. Are you opposed to that? Is that going to make the deck too expensive? Because, like, fetch, brought back both of your fetches is incredible ramp. Like, it's absurd. Yes, you can totally submit multiple decks. I just pick decks based on what I want to look at, basically. And once again, I do feel like we're not running enough lands in general. Yeah, go for it, fetch away. Yeah. Arid Mesa. Marsh Flats. Not Polluted Delta. I'm blanking on the white-blue one. Save me, someone. Either way, you want Prismatic Vista. Flooded Strand, thank you. I felt like I felt like I lost my Magic player card there for a second. I was like, what's the white-blue fetch? No. Yeah, Flooded Strand, thank you, everyone. So yeah, this is probably enough fetches. You're not running a lot of basic planes to even fetch for. I would like to add one copy of Flagstones of Trocaire. So Flagstones of Trocaire. When it is put into a graveyard from play, you may search your library for a planes card and put it into play tapped if you do shuffle. This is a synergy with Knight of the White Orchid. Not Knight of the White Orchid, sorry. White Orchid Phantasm. You can blow up your Flagstones of Trocaire and double ramp. If your opponents have no card you want to blow up. Okay, great. You know what you need actually is Reprieve. So there's a combo here. Reprieve, Approach of the Second Sun is a combo. You cast Approach from the Second Sun, you reprieve it back to your hand, you cast Approach from the Second Sun. Approach of the Second Sun does not look to see if a spell named Approach for the Second Sun resolved this game. It just looks to see if you've cast one named Approach of the Second Sun. You do not need it to resolve the first time. So if you have 9 mana, you can cast Approach, reprieve it back to your hand, next turn win. And if you have 14 mana, you're just set. Or not 14 mana. It would be 16 mana. You just win the game on the spot. Which is easier said than done, to be fair. 16 mana is a lot of mana. But if 9 doesn't seem too hard to get to in this deck. Especially if you're like... Yeah, I know. You can get turn 7 or 8. But here's the thing about this combo, is Reprieve is just a good card by itself. Approach of the Second Sun is already in your deck. Just run the combo. Like, there's no reason not to. Alright, let's talk about everything going on here now. Let's see what we can cut here for these cards. We need 5 cuts. Anything standing out to anyone? What's the point of Solemnity? Is this just like a hate card? Yeah, you can't even interrupter it, sadly. Just stacks, yeah, no. This is so niche. It's otherworldly. And do you know what happens when someone plays Dark Depths into your Solemnity? You just cry, like... Yeah, exactly. Someone plays a Persist creature, someone plays Dark Depths, like... Get out of here. You need to be doing something with Solemnity in your deck for it to be in there. It's not just a stacked piece. I'd rather you be running, like, Sun Cleanser or something. Ghostly Prison, Aura of Silence I love. Blind Obedience is great. Land Tax, yeah. Authority of the Consoles. I see why you're running so few lands now with Land Tax. Yeah, of course, of course. I love Blade of Selves. That's hilarious. I think we're not cooking with Spawning Pit. I know you want sack outlets, but, like... You have a tutor for a sack outlet. Probably just Wall of Omens, too. Because I'm not seeing a big flicker theme here. Like, yeah, you get an infinite loop with Karmic Guide, but Karmic Guide just, like... No reason to draw when no one can untap. Is there better recursion than Lifeline? Lifeline is insane. Lifeline's incredible. You know what? Okay, actually, that's a really good suggestion. Lazo, Tep, Quarry would be incredible in this deck, and so would High Market. You should be running both. These lands both tap to sacrifice a creature. This one gains 1 life. This one adds 1 mana of any color. And this one you can also recur something. Yeah, Gift of Immortality and Lifeline both belong in this deck at the same time. You don't run... Yeah, I think you run both. Quite true. You run both. Alright, now we're just talking about cuts, though. No more additions. 2 more cuts. Moonblessed Cleric does feel a little slow. Okay, actually, here's the crazy thing about Moonblessed Cleric, though, is Moonblessed Cleric gets an Enlightened Tutor. They both get a sack outlets and the combo piece as well. Like, it gets everything. In New to Brewing, basically, the infinite you can't untap sort of deal. It's pretty hard, this deck. We're just about through. I think I'm gonna get rid of Angelic Renewal. This feels a little too much. The Sure Command is expensive. You already have 3 board wipes. 4. If you want to count Balancing Act. Alright, I think we've cooked. We've cooked. Here you go, Squishy God. Alright. Looking at the chat here. trying to find a new deck to brew around. You guys want to watch me be a contrarian? Let's talk. Ooh, actually, there's a couple I want to talk about here. I think we're gonna start. Oh man, there's so many cool decks in here, guys. It is so rough having to choose. Where was... Okay, here's the last one. Okay. I want to talk about Flage. There's a Discord. There's a link in the YouTube bio. We're gonna talk about Flage, guys. Let's get off of ticks really quick. Back on USD, please. Yes, mail me your deck. All 99 cards in the commander, and the deck box, and the sleeves, all the tokens. And I'll do a deck review. I promise. No, there's a Discord that's the topmost text channel. Alright, let's talk about Flage. Let's talk about Flage. I love Flage. This card's so cool. First thing, is there a budget here? Doom Eater. Not really. No budget. Okay, good. Here's what I want to see out of this deck. Let's cut like... Oh, well, hang on. I need to duplicate first. Not trying to go full power. Understood. Here's what I want to see. Let's go down Forgotten Cave. Let's go up Arena of Glory. So if you play Modern, you understand what this is all about. In your mana base, Arena of Glory, Escape Flage, you get the ETB and the attack same turn. So that's pretty incredible. You don't need to rely on Lightning Greaves. You don't need to rely on, you know, other stuff. Like, this is just in your mana base. Most of the time, it's an untapped red. Great. Sounds great. I want to quickly look through your creatures. Yeah, he's an Elder Giant. That's fun. I like the Giant synergy. Luminous Broodmoth is actually hilarious, dude. Hang on. This is okay, we just talked about Solemnity in the last deck. How do you feel about comboing with Luminous Broodmoth? I just realized Luminous Broodmoth, Flage, Solemnity. Isn't that a combo? Don't you just win the game? And it's a pretty fair combo, all things considered. But if you... So you have Solemnity, right? Like, why not? It seems pretty funny. Let's teach Fire Giant's Fury. Until the end of your next turn, you play those cards? That's pretty cool. I'm gonna add to considering, since I don't think it's necessarily that insane, but it's definitely really funny. Yeah, 3 white is pretty difficult. I also don't see yeah, I'm not a big fan of Book of Exalted Deeds. So this is a community deck building stream, Operation Turtle. Um, people in the community here send in their decks to the Discord. Um, and it's the first chat, and then I'm just looking through the ones that sound interesting. We're sort of going through it as like a group. Very fun. I like the Flage Solemnity combo with the Luminous Broodmoth. Luminous Broodmoth was really heads up of you to add. That's an incredible card to have. This all being said, have you thought about adding Torpor Orb effects so that way Flage enters and doesn't sacrifice itself, and then you can just start getting the attack trigger from it? By the way, if you did want to keep Book of Exalted Deeds, you probably want to add the first copy of Mutavault, because you can turn, this is like an insane combo. I had it in my Angels deck. I never pulled it off, but it was funny. So Mutavault becomes a 2/2 creature for 1 mana. And I'm going to turn, hang on, I just got a Discord ping. I need to go on D&D. Boop, boop, do not disturb. Okay, great. You turn Mutavault into a creature. It has all creature types, and then you activate Book of Exalted Deeds on your Mutavault, and then it just becomes a land again. And now people need land removal to answer your Mutavault before they can win the game, and you can lose the game. Yeah, losing the ETB does hurt. That much I can agree to. And we just added that combo. I mean, yeah, I can see why you wouldn't want to add it. I've been off Solemn Simulacrum. I fail to see what you're ramping into. Strict Proctor is a funny Torpor Orb. It does just make Flage 5 mana. If you want the ETB of the other thing. It might be worth the first copy of Strict Proctor. That is something to think about. I actually like the Strict Proctor ad. That's pretty fun. I think this soft ETB, just the first copy of it, that feels good. You remember, you choose when you play this card. So if you have like the Luminous Broodmoth in hand, you want to go for the combo, then just don't worry about it. Oh yeah, and you can also, yeah, that's totally true. If you can pay for the Strict Proctor, it's a 1/3. You can just kill it with Flage if after you pay for the trigger. That's really heads up, Korbach. That's a really good addition. Yeah, mine's probably Golgari too, sadly. I feel so guilty when it's Golgari. It feels like it has like a little bit of a reputation. Minas Morgul, that's not a legal card. I think it's a black card. I think what you could add though is Rogue's Passage. Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, we've had a lot of fun making it. I like Ash Barrens. Gaia Reach I'm a little bit lower on. I don't know what you're doing with Gaia Reach Sanitarium. I think I like it better in sort of like a wheel sort of draw Punisher deck. War Leader's Call. That's the go wide. So I don't like War Leader's Call in this deck. We're not going wide here. Yeah, Rogue Passage is fine. Man, I wish Quintorius was cheaper. Can I be real? Like original Quintorius. 5 mana is just so much for this effect, but it would be so cool to just like Boros Tormod people. This is a commander. Tried to build a deck around him and the 5 mana hurts. Yeah, exactly. You can't really run it. Um, I mean, I think we're about there, honestly. There could be more crime synergy. I don't know though. Yeah, no, there's not a lot of crime synergy. Yes, this is EDH commander. Yeah, no, Magnet is the only one worth running. That is incorrect. You do have a density of 3 drops here. That is a little bit interesting. I think what would do you well, I don't like Commander Sphere. Your commander is just 3 mana. Yeah, that makes sense. I think the first copy of Dawn Charm is going to do you very, very well. And the reason being is that if someone targets you with like, it sucks though, actually. Because like, I'm thinking about how you get your graveyard exiled. It's Bazooka Bog, that's an ability. It's Bogart Harvester now. That's a target, like an ETB ability. It's a little bit rough. I'm just thinking about like anti-graveyard. You have hexproof. Yeah, I'm thinking about Leyline, but I'm not sure. I mean, you could just fold to Graveyard Hate. That's not the worst. Like, it happens, right? Can't be the target. Cards in graveyards. I know there's a green card that does this. Cards in graveyards can't be the targets of spells or abilities. Silent Gravestone. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about all that. Let's talk. Oh, Tome of Legends is really cool. Faithless Looting, Helping Hand. A lot of discard going on. Stroke of Midnight, Wear Tear. Chaos Warp. Yeah, you're fine on removal, I think. Yeah, Ground Seal, but that's green. Yeah, like I was saying. This on Giant is funny. You already have a damage doubler in Solthim. Look at Revolt cards. Yeah, no. Okay. Glinthorn, no, no, no. We're not doing enough discarding that we want Glinthorn. Either way, we can't add it even. um, Man, I'm just trying to think of the last card here. Have you thought about extra combats at all? You do like the combo with the Book of Mutavault? Ah, tell you what, then we can add that. It just gets expensive in terms of mana cost. There's Fear of Missing Out. That's the new one. Oh yeah, Seize the Day. And we do the non-arcane version. Could be funny. It's a good card to discard too. All right, let's talk about cuts though. Talk about cuts. I don't know if you need 2 mana rocks in this deck, or at least you don't need many of them. And when you do add them, what's the thought behind Altar of Dementia? Can I? Oh, it's just mill. I mean, sacrificing Flage in response to mill a bunch just seems pretty cool. You are right about that. I think maybe just like take out the worst looting effect. Draw a card, then discard a card. Draw a card, discard a card. 5 cards from your hand. It has the same mana value as a card revealed this way, so you have like a heavy amount of 3 and 2s. Celestine is really funny. Blech, can't speak. I think you should be a lot more in on like not ramping too much. Yeah, no, I like Mind Stone more than say Boros Signet, just because you can cycle it. Listen, man, here's your curve. We don't need that much ramp. Your curve is really low. Like, just cook with what you got. 38 lands, incredible. Like, you're doing the responsible thing. You have a lot of lands. You're gonna hit your land drops pretty frequently. I like the giant package at the top end. Let's look for cards that mention giant. I'm just trying to think of like giant synergy cards. All right, no. Man, giants are thoughts on the stuff and considering. Let's take a peek. Guardian Scale Lord should be in. Probably even over like Sun Titan. Honestly. You can run both though. It's a little bit of framing. I'd probably take out Return the Favor for it. This is better when you have something to copy as well in your deck, which I don't think... Oh, no, copying a discard spell is actually really good. Maybe just, like, reforge the soul. Yeah, no, I think you're good. Realm Cloak Giant's already in. Okay, I think you're I think you're set here, honestly. Wakebringer's in. Everything looks good to me, honestly. Maybe like a ley line of punishment could be cool. Something like that, like another life gain prevention card, but you already have Quakebringer. Alright. Let's take a peek at this deck really quick. Let me see if this is the one we want to be running. Let's see, let's see. Hmm. Let's talk about this deck, because this deck I actually have a lot of opinions on. Pia Nalar. Pia. Think it's in? No, no, no. Seriously, for real considering. Yeah, it is really Boros night tonight, isn't it? So I have a lot of thoughts on Pia Nalar. Love Unstable Amulet. I haven't updated mine quite yet for that. Because it's been a while since I played this deck. Skull Clamp. The budget seems to be $60. Just making sure. Oh, Jazzy, are you here? Jazzy Kazzy? And you can go up to about 75. Okay. Skull Clamp. Yesterday, please. Makes 1/1s. Kills 1/1s, draws 2 cards. Mwah! Beautiful. Big fan of this. Jor Kadeen's awesome. I'm glad that there's another Jor Kadeen respecter out there. You know what I mean? Jor Kadeen deserves the love. Size the Imperfect. Guff rewrites history. Audacious Swap. I see you're doing some like polymorph stuff, but I think your mana value is a little bit funny to be running this card. I don't think you want to be swapping. Skull Clamp is an awesome card that needs to be in everyone. I'm glad you respect Dance with Calamity Surge to Victory. I mentioned that on a Trinket Mage video where I starred. I need to see Inspired Tinkering here, which I do. Great. Ignite the Future. Ignite the Future. So far, respect, man. This deck's solid. You have Tempered Steel. You can see adding Tempered Steel. Pia Nalar has actually impressed me. All right, this is very important to mention. Intangible Virtue, Tempered Steel, War Leader's Call, Skyhunter Strike Force, like even Master Trinketeer. These cards have all impressed me in PNLR. Uh, yeah, no, like this is like very close to cooking. Is Inti in here already? I think I would like to see Inti. Lelia isn't in here, I don't think. Lelia is like an incredible card. Could probably be in there, 25 cents. Low Shield's pretty great too. I just don't know if the advantage is there, so to speak. That's sick. So I don't know. How often are you getting him with Piandalar? This might be better as a Glimpse the Impossible. Oh my gosh, I can't type for the... Not Glimpse of Tomorrow. Glimpse of tomorrow would be hilarious in here. Okay, you already have it in here. Wait, no. I'm thinking of what's the card? Embrace the Unknown. You already have Embrace the Unknown. Okay, we're cooking. We're fine. You have Markless Reckless Joy, Ren's Resolve, Reckless Impulse, Renzo. Whenever creature, yeah, like that. Um, Man, that's wicked. Actually, I need to put that in my PNLR deck. You're teaching me a thing or two. Young Pyromancer's sick. Sick is an awesome, by the way. Um, Bruce Tarl. The top card of your library. If it's a land card, create 2/2. Otherwise, you may cast it until the end of your next turn. Or attacks. Oxen, you control of Double Strike. I think we're losing the plot a little bit on Bruce. Ugh! That card's great. Yuck. Yeah, I think Bruce is probably your worst token maker. That's pretty stellar. 4 damage to each creature. Ugh, this card's also gross. Oh my gosh. I don't look at Universe Beyond cards, by the way, in Commander, but like, these cards are sick. Design-wise. What's the thought here? Because I don't see a lot of non-land permanents that are sacrificing themselves for value. I don't see a lot. Used for recursion late game. No. 3 mana rocks. Perish the thought. Throw it out of your mind. Unless it directly synergizes with your deck, you shouldn't be running it. Even Thran Dynamo, I'm very iffy on in this deck. Your curve is so low. Look at this. I love Starlight Spectacular. That card needs more love. Love Showdown. Card I've been a little bit interested in recently is Felia, but I don't know if you can really wing it, per se. All right, let's talk about some cards that I think you're missing. Here, we can just use the compare feature of Moxfield. More compare. Yeah, there's a couple of board clears in there already. He's into the bowl. Interesting. I think I'm way more stormy with my list. So overall, I could see all these being preference swaps. That being said, Invasion of Call Time needs to be in this deck, I think. Do you want to see this card? Because this card's, I don't know if you've considered it already. It reads a little clunky, but this card is so good. Like, I cannot begin to emphasize how great this card is. So, Invasion of Call Time, it's 3 in a red. You exile all cards from your hand, and then you draw that many cards, and then until the end of your next turn, you may play cards exiled this way. Flip side, when you defeat it, keep in mind you're making flyers all the way with haste, so you're going to be really easy to kill this thing. Pyre of the World Tree. Discard a land card, deals 2 damage to any target, and whenever you discard a land card, you exile the top card of your library and may play that card this turn. So once you hit like 6 lands or so, you can just kind of stop and just discard the land cards you draw, and then start casting from exile instead. This is like flood protection. Shared Animosity is a pretty good ad, in my opinion, but I think you're kind of spread out. You know what might be cool is Arabella. New card from Duskmourn. Arabella, Haunted Doll. It looks like all of your tokens are 2 or less. Even the ones that P and Nalar don't make. It is whenever she attacks, though. That is something to think about. I think it could be a little clunky. Shared. I don't know if I have much more notes, actually. That's the funny thing. I think Shared Animosity is probably good in your deck, and so is Battle Hymn. Get Shared Animosity in. If you have 3 Thopters, all of your Thopters get buffed. I mean, like you said, you like to go... No, okay. Here's the thing about NT. NT is a May ability. You don't have to use NT. Whenever you attack, you may discard a card. Just don't discard a card if you can't play anything. It'll let NT will let you hit your land drop. NT synergizes with Pyre of the World Tree. If you discard a land card to Pyre of the World Tree, NT exiles a card. Pyre of the World Tree exiles a card. Do you know what else NT triggers off of? Retrace. When you use Embrace the Unknown and you retrace by discarding a land card in addition to paying its other cost, NT triggers. You'll draw 3 off Embrace the Unknown. That looks like to be all of your discard synergy, but like NT also just triggers by himself, so NT should be in here. Same with Party Thrasher, right? Does Party Thrasher discard? Yep, Party Thrasher would trigger NT. NT doesn't care if he discards the card. It's any discard anywhere, ever. If someone wheels you, by the way, you exile 7 cards with NT. Like, let's go. Or does it say 1 or more? Nope, 1 or more. You would exile 1 card. I kind of like you find some prisoners. This is a cute tech ad. It depends on your meta, though. So this is a really good card. So it's an Abrade. You can destroy target artifact. Or, if someone Vampiric tutors, or Worldly tutors, or Enlightened tutors, or Imperial seals, puts top on top by tapping it to draw a card. You can just exile the top 3 cards of your library. You can break Boros' Citadel loops. What's the theme of this deck? Cast from exile. With PNLR. Make a bunch of Thopters, kill your opponents. Like, this is a meta call. In my meta, I see a lot of top deck manipulation. I see a lot of top deck stuff. But you might not have that in your world. Boros Charm is also a pretty heat addition. Just like, this is like one of the cheapest protection spells you could be running. All of my permanents gain indestructible this turn. I do want to look at considering really quick. Because I know I have a lot in here. Ooh, Brazen Cannonade is pretty sick. Yeah, I think instead of Boros Charm, just add Brazen Cannonade. 3 in a red. Whenever an attacking creature you control dies, it does 2 damage to each opponent. And raid. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, if you attacked with a creature this turn, exile the top card of your library until combat on the next turn. You may play that card. I don't think you're running a sacrifice outlet. Mana looks good. This is 38. I mean, I no notes on the mana. Yeah. Brazen Cannonade wouldn't work with Skull Clamp, though. My favorite thing to do with Brazen Cannonade, I run a Zurzoth deck. And here I use Brazen Cannonade. And what I will do is I'll attack with my tokens. And then I'll let them do combat damage, get all my attack triggers, and then end of combat, like damage before going to second main phase, I'll sacrifice everything. They're still attacking creatures so long as you're in combat, even if you're in the damage step. So Brazen Cannonade pings my opponents that many times. And I have a lot of sack outlets in here, like Goblin Bombardment. There's more, I promise. Chain Brute technically, but it's mana gated. Thermopod. Stuff like that. It's very funny. For sure. So anyway, random Skyfall card. I saw the channel point redemption. Sky Hunter Skirmisher. This card has been so utterly outclassed. It is so sad. There's so many flying double strikes nowadays. For 3. Even in Bloomborough we got one. Double strike. Flying double strike Megamorph Shrike Force 1/3. Rest in peace. Can we get an 07 in chat? Or Sky Hunter Skirmisher, our random Scryfall card. Okay, guys. Tell you what. I think I'm done looking at decks. But you know what I'm not done with? I am very excited to be doing some Vintage Cube. Don't go anywhere. Let's do a round of Vintage Cube. Even if you don't like draft, let's see how you guys feel. I have you all here, right? Like, you're already using me for background noise. Let's do some vintage cube. Because I do have to record a podcast after this, and I do want to get around to Vintage Cube on the stream. We're gonna be playing Vintage Cube on Magic Online, which is gonna be closing pretty soon. Actually, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, League available through September 18th. We got to get our games in while we can. Logging into Magic Online. Oop, whoops. DB_33 elk. Tried to log into my main using my Daybreak account password. All right, guys. Magic Online is open. Let's play some limited. I do need to change the Vintage Cube. MTGO creator. Boop. That's Twitch. I'm going to change the name. I won't change the name on YouTube because otherwise... Otherwise, the YouTube stream will end and start again. Let's get in the queue. Let's get in the queue. And then I'll start talking. Join draft queue. So I've linked them in the chat over time. I can drop them in the Discord as well if people would like the edited deck lists. Really quickly. Just get Scryfall up here. Just in case someone redeems. Oop, we are 6 out of 8 players in the queue. Hang on, I think this is a little bit long. Yeah, it's cut off. Oh yeah, no problem, of course. It's the whole concept of the stream. No need to thank me. 7 out of 8 in queue. Who's hyped for some cube? Guys, manifest power for me. It's not selfless. I like the attention. So far, weekly seems like a pretty good pace. I see broadside bombardiers. Oh, man, Felia again would be sick. No pack one, pick one Lotus, but I will be taking a broadside bombardiers. Very, very, very strong card. It's definitely not power, but it's definitely like top 30 cards in the cube. We could stay red. Flinging Grim Monolith to Broadside Bombardiers is also not the worst. I think I'm going to take a Grim Monolith here. I've been very impressed with Big Red. We get to stay red by taking Burst Lightning. Although Containment Priest is a very strong card that I would be not willing to pass up in a lot of Boros decks. If we ended up in Boros. Retrofitter is pretty great. Makes sack fodder. It's either Arena of Glory or Containment Priest or Burst Lightning. Those are my 3 sort of like standout picks in this pack. I think I'm going to go with Containment Priest. Just see if we end up in Boros, because Containment Priest can really just like equalize a game against a very unfair deck. Reanimator will normally crush an aggro deck, but if you have Containment Priest, the levels sort of get evened in that exchange. Waiting for our next pack. Man, the opponent passing to us must have a stinker. Boros is just one of the best color combos in Cube. I think I'm leaning towards like a Flame Slash or a Firebolt here. I think I'm more in on Flame Slash than I am with Firebolt. Just answers more threats. Ooh, LED. Or Giver. Let's just snap off the Giver, I think. It's no mom, but... Giver certainly is a card. Reds seem a little bit cut. I hope that doesn't stay that way, but... Because I do need this broadside to work out for me. What do we want? We want Plateau. We want Sacred Foundry. We want Arid Mesa. Gut, True Soul Zealot. Some 2-drops and 1-drops that we want to sacrifice. Thraben Inspector. Stuff like this are the cards we want with the Broadside Bombardiers pick. Ocelot Pride. We're not going to get an Ocelot Pride this late, but it would be pretty good. Ooh. I'm going to take a Smuggler's Copter. Yes. I have a whole folder dedicated to those commanders, actually. We can take a peek while we're in between picks here. I'm going to take Smuggler's Copter here. Luminarch Aspirant, snapping that off immediately. That card's broken. Yeah. You can use Luris to replay stuff you've sacked, but I can... Luminarch Aspirant's broken. Smuggler's Copter's great. And if with this Grim Monolith, makes me not want to draft a Luris deck. I want to draft like Sneak Attack and Big Monsters and stuff. Bonehorde Dracosaur. Play that on turn 3. Like, let's cook. Let's cook. Glimmer Lens is incredible. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be more white than red. Glimmer Lens is great here, too. Oh, man. This is all cooking. Belia is, like, one of the best cards we could probably draft. We could take Esper Sentinel. Let's see here. I've not been very impressed with Kamano Faces Kakazan, but honestly, it's like, I don't know what else I'm picking out of that pack. Probably just take Arena of Glory here. Firebolt Wield, taking that. All right, we have a good start to red-white aggro. Very good start. The Grim Monolith makes me really excited to take like Bonehorde Dracosaurs and stuff. Portable Hole came back. Incredible card to wheel. Yes, we'll take an Aven Interrupter. Clean, to say the least. And Sachi to sideboard. If we splash blue, I guess, maybe, but... Pretty good with Broadside Bombardiers. Oop, gosh. Let me drop everything on my desk. Well, that's a Mox. Goodbye, Bonehorde Dracosaur, that I've called by name. I hope it wheels. I would love if Bonehorde came back. Oh, Flash is so good, guys. Oh, it's so good. I need to take Flash. We're splashing blue now. The voices. They're telling me to take Flash. Oh, Ragavan wouldn't be bad. We're only pack 2. We could make Flash work. Ragavan would not be too bad in this deck. I'd be a little bit of a Ragavan believer. I'm taking Flash, guys. Vamp Tutor. Like, there's Sacred Foundry. Ugh. I'm gonna take Vamp. Alright, guys. Say goodbye to red. We're a Flash deck now. Xander's Lounge is what we need the most. Vaultborn Tyrant's so good with Flash, but Xander's Lounge is all 3 of our colors. Well, it's not white. But still. We need mana fixing. Harvester of Misery? Like, maybe we're off white, honestly. Definitely off Aven Interrupter, at least. It's too much mana. It's... Chrome Host or Displacer Kitten. Maybe Hazel's Brewmaster. Hmm. I'm gonna take Hazel's Brewmaster, I think. Concealed Courtyard's pretty good. Crab is like... Solitude. Let's take Solitude, I think. It is kind of just the best card in pack. Scholar. Yeah, we can make this work like Esper colors. Maybe we can splash Broadside. We need better mana, like ASAP, though. White, red, or red, blue. Man, all these lands are red. That's pretty bad. I'm gonna take Wandering Emperor here, I think. Okay, Bonehorde Dracosaur came back, which is pretty sweet. I don't think the Jeskai guy is gonna do much for me. I'm gonna take Exhume. Or I can take Usher. I'm gonna take Usher. A Godless Shrine is a gift. I know Thraben Inspector is also really good. How does the Flash deck work? You get Worldspine Worm. Vaultborn Tyrant's already passed. You get Atraxa. We need better mana immediately. But, that's the only real thing. Concealing Curtains or Bitter Triumph? I think I'm going to take Triumph. Touch the Spirit Realm, I suppose. Concealed Courtyard's a gift. Okay, great. We're cooking. We're cooking. The Savine's Tower is insane if we get that. Mana Crypt is also incredible. And basically impassable. The rest of this pack kind of sucks anyway. All right, we are warping our deck around Flash as soon as possible. So that's the reason I took Vamp so highly, is Vamp is very, very, very good with Flash. Flash is too strong. Hulk is the better unban. I think I'm going to take Goldspan Dragon should wheel. Goldspan Dragon's great with Grim Monolith Mana Crypts. We have Mox. I'm going to take Skyclave, I think. It's just good interaction. Although Eagles of the North will probably wheel. Like, one of these two will wheel, and I'll be happy with either. Blightsteel's horrible with Flash. Flash puts a creature into play, and then you sacrifice it unless you play its mana cost reduced by 2. What happens is you put Blightsteel into play, it dies, it shuffles into your library, you've done nothing. Alright, Marsh Flats is incredible here. It gets all of our colors. It looks like we're not going to get Flash to work, though. Which is really just a shame. I hope we get a Worldspine Worm this pack and just, like, can call it a day. But, you know, there's always a chance that it just wasn't opened or whatever. Seething Song is really good with Bonehorde Dracosaur. We could just be back in red. Staff of the Storyteller keeps us more white, but we already have enough white, I think. It's also just a good sack for Broadside Bombardiers. We have enough good low end that I don't think we need the Ritual, and it'll probably wheel. Parallax Wave is broken. Although Mana Confluence is also really good. Jackrabbit's also broken, but it's not as good as Parallax Wave. Raptor. Alright, yeah. It looks like we didn't get there on the Flash, sadly. Yep, nothing on the last pack here. So yeah, we're gonna have to dump the tutor. Lingering Souls is actually cooking. Oust is pretty decent too. I think I like Oust more than Souls. And Mother. Alright, bummer we didn't get Flash to work. It really is too bad. But we have a good white-red deck anyway, so can't really complain too bad. I mean, perhaps we could splash Satya. I'll keep the white-black lands. They work really good. I like Scholar. Yeah, no, typically you'll want Flash with the creatures with good enter the battlefield and death triggers. That's where you play Flash. The Shadowy Backstreet came back. I could just take a Wrath for the sideboard. Guardian Scale Lord isn't too bad either. I like it. I'll take Guardian Scale Lord. This is like turn 1 Mox land. Grim Monolith, turn 2 Bonehorde Dracosaur, Solitude, Guardian Scale Lord. Like, this deck cooks. We're in. You also have combos like Evoke Solitude, exile it to Parallax Wave. Exile the token off of this to Parallax Wave. Sacrifice Parallax Wave to Broadside Bombardiers. Like, yuck. Alright, Zerda. Just take a Mishra's Bauble. Top 3 Vintage Cube cards are Soul Ring, Time Walk, and Mox Sapphire. Or Mox Pearl, maybe. Is better than Mox Sapphire. Mana Crypt is good too, but I think the Moxes get a little bit better. Like, having a Mox Pearl is better than having a Mana Crypt, in my opinion. Because you can have Ancient Tomb as in your land, City of Traders. You can have 2 Soul lands. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Savai Triumph came back, which is huge. Having one fetchable white-red land is incredible. I'll take Jite. It's a good sideboard card for like a mirror match. All right, so we have Containment Priest and Tidehollow Scholar for the unfair matchups. We have Giver and Mother, Usher, Esper Sentinel, Skyclave Apparition, Rampaging Raptors. Wandering Emperor can probably be for unfair matchups, like long control-y games. Jackrabbit came back around. That's a gift. That's an incredible card. People are disrespecting that card. So this is 5 lands, so -5. We need 3 cuts, probably touch. I'll run Dam in the sideboard, I guess. And Sarah Paragon in the sideboard. Okay, what do we cut? I don't think I have to make many cuts, but we do have to make a couple. Oh yeah, for sure. Rabbit is an incredibly great card. Yeah, I don't know if I'm in on any of these other cards in the sideboard. So we can take out the lands. These are lands. 23. Okay, no, we don't have any cuts. Let's just run the deck. Add basics. 7 plains, 2 mountains. Is this right? 2 more mountains would be Arena of Glory, Marsh Flats, Savai. That's 3. 4, 5 red sources. I think we want 3 bare minimum. So we have Savai, Marsh Flats, Arena of Glory, and then this would be 6. And then Concealed Courtyard, Godless Shrine, Marsh Flats. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 white sources. I'll add 1 more mountain just because I want the possibility to high roll Bonehorde Dracosaur off of Mox, Mana Crypts, etc. really early. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red sources, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 white sources. Seems good to me. You see what the combo in Cube is: Jackrabbit, Orcish Lumberjacks, Smirking Spelljacker, and then you have like 3 jacks. Like, that's just jacked up. You know what I mean? We lost the die roll, but that's fine. This hand's insane. So you know what? It's perfectly fine that we lost the die roll. Because this hand's just stupid. Turn 1, Island, Mana Crypt, Tinker. Blightsteel Colossus in play. Pass. And then I top deck Oust or something. Turn 1 Mom, it's pretty bad for an opponent most of the time. Thundering Falls tells me he's probably going to be more combo-y. He could be blue-red tempo, though. Okay, there's Broadside Bombardiers. I'm going to just play the Mother of Runes pass. Oh yeah, Copter's great. We love a Copter, especially on a 2-lander. Chrome Mox is pretty scary. What are we imprinting? Imprinting Daze. Didn't want to daze my mom. In Urza Saga, that's scary. So it looks like maybe blue-red artifacts. Let's just go ahead and drop Smuggler's Copter. And I'll just pass. Okay, we're just getting mana leaked. That's fine. No. Do I want to chip in for one with Mom? Probably not. We're going to start seeing some construct to my opponent, though, which is pretty bad. This turn is fine. It's just Staff of the Storyteller after shocking to Godless Shrine. Eee, Tolarian Academy, yikes. And this taps for 2. I would like an untapped red source. Yeah, it's a Plains. I'm gonna go Plains, Staff, activate Staff. Okay, Parallax Wave is incredible against Urza Saga. This card's so broken. Oh my gosh. Next turn is Parallax Wave. Exile both of the constructs you've made. Brutal. I also have the Containment Priest combo with Parallax Wave. So I can exile any creatures forever for my opponent. This is Plague Wind in white. Get the 0 or 1 cost artifact. Hits Mox Sapphire. Good to know. So 4 mana. 5 mana. Come on, play big monster. I promise it will not go badly for you. Okay, Golos. Sick. Oh yeah, this opponent's cooked. There's no coming back from what I'm about to do to this guy. I can Guardian Scale Lord back the Parallax Wave after it gets sacrificed. Yeah. Yuck. Yucky, yucky, yucky. This opponent's about to get locked out of the game. I'll just take 5 here. Parallax Wave. Boop. 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 This is why I took Parallax Wave so highly, by the way. You're just allowed to do that to your opponent. Play a big monster. Come on, let it be Urza. Let it be Urza. Goldspan Dragon? Okay. Love that. Please commit more creatures to the battlefield. I beg of you. You can activate this instant speed, by the way. Oh, another creature? For me? For me? Containment Priest. You get none of your creatures back. I would be seething with rage. I would be so mad. Opponent has 1 card in hand. And we're just about to start to lay down the beats here. Maybe I could have Skyclaved the Mox. That's probably apt to do. Sorry, I was just so excited by my play. Plays land, getting flooded. I have Guardian Scale Lord to bring back the Parallax Wave, and that will be a lock. Jackrabbit. Yuck. Okay, let's move to combat first. Mom is the best cheerleader right now. That's for certain. Get a 4/5 Jackrabbit into play. I'm just going to start making 4 tokens every turn with attacking with Jackrabbit. Did my opponent draw some heat? Not quite. That's not gonna do it. Unless you have like a brain freeze or something. Oh, yuck. He just has the combo. He has part of the combo. If he hits Lion's Eye Diamond, I'm done. Spellseeker, Mystical Tutor. Kappa Cannoneer. Yeah, none of these are gonna do it. He gets to spin it twice more. He should hit LED, right? It would need to be the last card in his deck. Unless he thinks he can just mill me out here. It's possible. Because Storm Count is like 2. Got to be 3. That's 3, 6, 9. Mystical Tutor. What do you get? Ancestral Recall on top. It's good to know about. My opponent has 2 more blue mana. So he can cast the freeze 1 more time. Three, 6, 9, 12. Like, that's still so many cards in my library, though. So, targets himself, targets himself, targets himself. We just need to see the Lion's Eye Diamond hit the graveyard and we're dead. That's a Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal doesn't do it, right? I could. I think Lotus Petal's lethal. See here, it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Lotus Petal does it. It doesn't go... Oh, no. He's gonna run out of... No, he won't run out of mana. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, no, he has enough. He's gonna win. Lotus Petal works. Maybe I can vamp for Scholar. The thought. Oh yeah, no, opponent had a good turnaround there. I don't really have much graveyard interaction. I could bring in Hazel's Brewmaster, I guess. Like Rampaging Raptors. I would love to play first. Alright, I'll keep. Blaine's mom. I have like 7 red sources in my deck and I haven't seen any of them. Oh, you're right, you're right. I should have put the bird in. I always forget that card's just not just like a remand. Probably just Copter here. Are we gonna get dazed? Alright, dazed, sure. Oh. Okay. I'll just push 1. Mom Copter gets counterspelled both games. Okay, Luminarch Aspirant's like a 1-card win. I'm just gonna put it on Luminarch and not attack. It's okay, we have draws. He plays like Ledger Shredder. Yeah, we'll just Portable Hole Usher. Seems good to me. Usher's just a one-card win condition. Like, opponent's on a clock. Needs to win soon. We don't need to draw more lands. Trinket Mage. Probably just Lotus Petal. Or Mox. Probably Mox, actually. Red Source would go crazy right now. Untapped Red Source. Flame Slasher Trinket Mage. It's not an untapped Red Source, but it's certainly pretty decent. Attack with 2/3/3s. Pro blue. Giver. Esper. Luminarch Aspirant's such a gross card. Don't like Pyroclasm, Male Cry. Like Fiery Confluence, just game over. It doesn't look like Fiery Confluence. It's a Healy. Do I get to draw one? I do get to draw one. Guardian Scale Lord's like horrible to draw. I would like one red source out of my deck. One untapped red source. It would be so stellar. Sad, but oh well. I mean, let's just attack our opponent, huh? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think we care about Saheeli. Just took it all. Interesting. Underworld Breach. I mean, opponent needs to have Brain Freeze as well. Like, if he goes Spell Seeker here for Brain Freeze, it's not gonna work. The Healy Minus can make a servo into a Lotus Petal. Alright. Am I dead here, though? I don't know. Because it needs to be 3 cards per mana. Or 6 cards per mana to cast Brain Freeze. This is 1, 2, 3. Brain Freeze. Oh no, I'm dead. He just had the combo both times. I probably would have like swapped in Solitude or something. That's really depressing. Just comboed me out both games. The keeper. Opponent mulliganed. All right. Out of all the ways you can use the Lotus, that is definitely one of the least impactful. Wasn't that just short of lethal on board? 9 cards in graveyard, but need 10 without milling anything relevant. He has Lotus Petal and Brain Freeze. He can cast Brain Freeze one more time on himself. Mills 9 on top of the cards he already has in his graveyard. Mills, like, he just had enough cards. Storm count. I don't really think I care about my opponent's plays. I think I'm just going to drop a Copter here. Opponent's drawing a Dork this turn. Okay. Ringheart Nantuko on top. Lighted Halfling. Go. Okay, let's tap a white for Usher. Brew Copter. Combat. Copter attack. I would like to draw a card. Discard Guardian Scale Lord. Jack Rabbit. Very good. Seeka's Chariot on top is pretty scary. I would like to see Crew Copter this next turn. Draw an untapped land and also draw a card for turn being the Grim Monolith. And then we can Bone Horde Dracosaur this turn. So green-black. That's fine. I'm okay with this attack. I'll block here, I suppose. He has like some sort of like Orcish Bowmaster or something. Toxic Deluge for 1. Yeah, sure. We'll kill your Dork. Kill my creatures too. That works for me. Scholar you. Let's nip the Zenith. Probably want to keep Luminarch Aspirant. I'll discard Firebolt. Not my favorite thing to discard, but definitely not the worst. Strongest Vintage Cube deck I made recently. There's a video on my channel. That deck was very strong. The Pyrogoyf one. It was like a Pyrogoyf Ephemerate sort of list. It went very good. Bestow Springheart and Antuco. I think that's wrong. I'll take my 3. I think you just smush me if you play a Seeker's Chariot here. Like, I don't know if I like this play. Alright, I'm gonna crew Copter again. Oh, we drew the nuts. Like, sure, we're about to get Elks, but that's okay. We force him to use his card. He doesn't have blue anyway. Oh, he has Waterlog Grove. Okay, never mind. He has blue. Gain a life, gain a life. Sure, make your copy. And you also get to Oko me. Ugh, I don't know how we beat our opponent's Toxic Deluge draw. Oops. Elk my Bone Horde Dracosaur. Sure, I'll take my 3. This is definitely feeling like a Wrath of God sort of matchup. Oh, that's brutal. Oh, yeah. There's a few. They take a while to upload. Let's just begin combat here. There's no reason to attack with the Bone Horde. But the Rampaging Raptors, they can come in. Okay, draw your Archon of Cruelty. Primeval Titan on top. So there's no more land action happening, I don't think. Create a food, sure. Seeker's Chariot, yep. Yeah, mountain is not it. Let's just get out of here. Okay. Opponent had the nuts. What to run? This is great in a creature matchup. Talked about bringing Dam in. I think I'm good with that. Probably just cut out Firebolt. Maybe Guardian Scale Lord. Feels pretty good to me. Man, Parallax Wave would be great in this matchup. Skyclave goes pretty hard. I mean, Mox Mana Crypt, obviously. Like, ugh. This definitely feels winnable, but it's rough. I won the die roll. Play first. This is a mole. I can't keep this. Alright, this is more keepable. Turn 1 copter, go. Okay, Containment Priest. That's pretty stellar. Let's just mom, though. Intriguing. Fanatic of Ronas. Well, I missed my Flame Slash now, but... There's Godless Shrine. Alright, I think we're finally ditching the Broadside Bombardiers here. What skull are you? Jace, Miscalc, Grave Titan. Let's Ixnay on the Miscalc A. Yeah, the rest of this we can kind of deal with. Especially if they're like a Reanimator sort of deck, and we just Containment Priest them out of the game. There's Jace. JVP. There's Damn. Let's just get rid of the Dork. Let's just get rid of Damn. And then this Containment Priest will stop any reanimation business. The only thing I'm scared of is Toxic Deluge. An opponent doesn't even have a black source for it. So it's like... Can't really be too scared of that. Goodbye, Grave Titan. Welcome back, Fanatic. Well, that's a Mana Crypt with... nothing to do with. I mean, we're gonna get swept up by Toxic Deluge no matter what. Let's just use this for extra damage. Damn. 7 health. You will soon die. Opponent has outs. He could draw Toxic Deluge. But he needs to draw Black Source Toxic Deluge off Jason. Yeah, it's not looking very likely. Waiting for opponent. End step. Okay. Let's save that in hand for copter discard. Let's crew one off containment priest. So block. I'm doing 3 if I do that. Versus crewing off Mother of Runes, I'll do 5. Yeah, I kind of have to crew off Mom here. All right. Extra blocks may draw a card. Yes, I will draw a card. I'll discard that. Flash within subtlety, sure. That's probably going to block Copter. Ghost. Down to 3. Any order? All right, great. We need to draw any creature from our deck. Jace Vryn's Prodigy here is going to flip. All right, have we done it? Have we made it? Shifting Woodland on Grave Titan, but we're not quite there yet. You need a second green to actually be able to attack with it. And it's also creature, land. No, it's just creature and land, so he doesn't even have Delirium. Opponent does need to play a creature in order to stabilize this turn, but if I draw any creature at all, I'll win. Firebolt also works. And so does Broadside Bombardiers. Yeah, my YouTube stream still says deck building because I can't change the stream name without the stream ending on YouTube. So it's just gonna say deck building stream until I'm about done here. So Myco spawn. Green Sun Zenith X equals 1. Green Sun Zenith X equals 1 into containment free. Sorry, I was checking my Discord to make sure Trinket isn't yelling at me for being late to the podcast. I still have an hour to stream, so before we're recording the podcast tonight. AV people flip. But no instant or sorcery to cast in the graveyard. Just giving Scholar -2/-0. The Void kind of owns me here. Okay, Jite wins. Do I attack with... No, I don't attack with Mom. This is just to get counters on Jite. Can I deduce what's in his hand? About to get Grave Titan back from the graveyard. Shifting Woodland into Grave Titan actually probably seems like a better play. Let's gain 2 life. I don't know why we didn't get Shifting Woodland this turn. I feel like that kind of stabilizes way better than what my opponent just did. All right. Oko. Probably a Mom. Make a food. Okay, no elking. Any creature. Okay, great. This is just lethal, right? I'm not missing anything. It is not lethal because that gets there. I see. I am missing something, and the fact that it's the fact that he can block my 2-power creature. He's about to get 3 life off food. About to make a bunch of zombies with Grave Titan. You get -6, right? It's -5. What were you thinking designing this card? Why not pump Tide Hollow? How? Oh, you mean with Luminarch? You're right. That would have been better. I don't know why. You are correct. That was a soft punt for sure. I think this is still we can come back. So Oko exchanging control of a food and one of my creatures is pretty gnarly. Yeah, no, if I pump Tide Hollow there. Interesting you choose Aspirant. I just need any removal spell and I win. Or burn spell. That's a plains. Rough. My opponent's about to gain 3 life. Seekish Chariot. Arena of Glory could still Get us out of this here. We have draws. I'll just take 4. That's nothing. Started Field of the Dead. Field of the Dead seems a little optimistic. I think even at this point, it's just over. He has too much food. I just can't win. Especially not with those draws. Bummer. That's just sad. I missed lethal that second game. I just had to put the counter on the Scholar. The first game, the Toxic Deluge, just like kind of owned us really hard. Let's see if we can at least salvage a win. This looks keepable. Usher into Jackrabbit's not bad at all. Fiend's Tower could be like a Reanimator type deck. I know we're not getting red here, but I just want to get on board. Interesting mana. Jace Prodigy. I think I'd rather hold up Containment Priest than drop a Glimmer Lens. Like, my board already needs answering. Let's just keep up the interaction. Looter plus black mana makes me feel very reanimatory. Island. Temple Garden. Pays 2 life. Arwen's pretty gnarly. So Parallax Wave will answer it pretty cleanly if we actually start drawing some lands. Hooks are in. We have the Containment Priest online. Esper Sentinel. Play the Glimmer Lens. We can start drawing cards next turn. I don't feel like just running my board into death here. Man, Arwen's a brutal card. But any land at all and we can just deal with Arwen. I'm not too stressed. A Johnny, yuck. Parallax Wave, please come online. Okay, there's Mountain. Let's Skyclave this Arwen. Like, yeah, does it suck that my opponent just played another thing that stops me from attacking? Yeah, but let's get on the board a little, huh? If he mana leaks this, I'm so happy. I'm over the moon. Okay, is it right to get Arwen or is it right to get a Johnny? It might actually be right to exile a Johnny. So I can draw a card this turn. Because once the Parallax Wave comes down, it's over. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm just going to draw an extra card here. Bye, Time Twister. Like, attacking here means that Arwen's going to eat 2 creatures. But we will draw a card. And all we need to do is have Parallax Wave go off 1 time to win this game. All right, and there's our land. So we're going to win next turn if our opponent does nothing else scary here. Like, we're going to get eaten here. Our creatures are going to get blocked, but after that, it's over. Yeah. Didn't do the Arwen play, which is very interesting to me. I feel like you should typically just, like, Arwen out there. Unless my opponent just has the read that I have a Parallax Wave and wants to counterspell it. The blue is an interesting color to see for my opponent. That's for sure. I hope you just tap out for a big, dumb idiot here. Fast Bond? Okay, Fast Bond wheels. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Tapped out of blue. Happy to see it. Tameo. Doesn't matter. Getting back Time Twister. All right. This looks like a Parallax Wave GG sort of deal. I could Sculler the Parallax or the Time Twister, but I think my opponent going off for 1 turn actually probably won't matter if I just get through. Actually, now that I said that, I think I'm just going to Sculler him. Sculler seems pretty brutal. So it folds to 1 removal spell. No, I'm gonna wave. I'm just gonna Parallax Wave. I'm not gonna get cute. Jace will loot. Goodbye, Ewit. Looks like a Time Walk deck. But yeah, my opponent can Time Walk off here, and I'm still gonna just like exile any creature he plays with Parallax Wave. So I'm not really too scared of game-ending threats besides like it needs to have like Shroud or Hexproof or something. Or he just has a bounce spell for my Parallax Wave. You don't draft Ewit or Tameo unless you have Time Walk. I mean, maybe that's a bit presumptuous, but I'm happy to get a new 7 here. Yo, Solitude for interaction? Actually insane. Out of all the hands we could have gotten Time Twistered into, this one's pretty great. All right, Fast Bond. Go ham, opponent. Opponent has to win this turn. Questing Beast. Nom 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 nom. I think this is going to be an Aven Interrupter game. I just feel it. Dite. Damn might be worthwhile. Okay, maybe not this. But we could probably run this. One more cut. Probably Portable Hole. No. Deals with JVP. Probably just oust then. Feels pretty good to me. We haven't had a good, like, Mana Crypt game yet. I'll keep. I don't think turn 1 Umezawa's Jite is really going to matter more than a turn 4 would. That's Ancestral. Okay, maybe that's what the Tameo's for. In the Ewit. It might be worth bringing Hazel's Brewmaster in, actually. If we get to a game 3. My opponent just like drops JVP. I get to Skyclave it, and then Umezawa's Jite. Johnny would also be very good for us. Johnny would be slightly more annoying. Paradise Druid, I'm not happy to see, but okay, Mox is incredible for us, actually. We can exile the Mox. I was like, ooh, he played a Hexproof threat. Never mind, he played a Mox. We can Skyclave that. White 1, Skyclave. Skyclave your Mox. And the next turn's GT equip. And then it's just like creature decks don't win through that. They also don't win through Parallax Wave. We'll see what we do. Parallax Wave into GT is backbreaking. That is so gnarly. Oh yeah. Bring it, bring it. Nice, you get 2 whole clues. That's broken. Are you ready for my play? I'm telling you, Parallax Wave, gnarly card. What if Oblivion Ring could, like, you could pay the mana up front and you also get to, like, instant speed it at a future time. Seal of Oblivion Ring. Oh, also you get to flicker all of your own synergies. Like, what a joke. This card's so stupid. I think I'll just firebolt that, honestly. I don't need to use my Parallax Wave on them. Okay, that's a little interesting, but I think I'm still just going to GT this turn. Oop, don't tap out a red. Okay, no. We have a red here. Yeah, Containment Priest, Parallax Wave. It's brutal. The commander of your deck should be Felia. There we go. That'll make a token. Exile the token. Attack with Skyclave. Okay. Give this creature -1/-1. Brutal. And we counter any play my opponent makes this turn. Or we can't, actually. Because otherwise we'd have to give him back 2 blockers. Yeah, drawing a card is not a sign of strength. We're just going to win here. Tireless Tracker, Paradise Druid. Yo, Jackrabbit Umazawa's GT is a combo. Because it draws equal to power. Or, like, it makes 1/1s equal to power. I don't know why you play a Dork into GT. It's X equals 4, but... Get another -2/-2 queued up here. Yeah, I just have a 0 mana disfigure that I'm hanging out on the board. Your turn. Like, what do you do here as a creature deck? I love GT. Stacking a clue is not going to get you far, that's for sure. Target of a spell or ability. On a target creature you control other than that creature. I think that could just live. I don't really care about it. Yeah, that's fine. Blocker's back. Flip this to Jackrabbit. Whipped creature gets +2/+2. Creature gets +2/+2. Sorry, probably should have cleared the stack there. But... in combat, I'll make 9 1/1s. Is that okay, opponent? Put 2 charge counters on my funny rabbit. On my GT. Yeah, let's just drop the copter. And I'll pass. Oh yeah, true. You could chump with GT. That is a good call. I'm fine with my opponent making a clue here. Unless he has balance. Like, there's not going to be a 2-mana clear here. Sunfall, that is insane. Alright, yeah, go and make your infinite-sized incubator. Great. Alright, I drew Mana Crypt for turn. Alright. Just my luck, huh? That's the elk luck. Yep. I mean, it's not like we've lost, but pretty close. Aceburn's Prodigy. That's gonna flip next turn. You know, it's not the worst draw in the world. Firebolt. Pass it on back. We have yet to have a good Mana Crypt game. Makes me a little sad. Questing Beast. That's a good card. Esper Sentinel. Copter. GT onto Copter. Put back to Esper Sentinel. Okay. As stated previously, definitely still far from over this game. Spellseeker. Is that gonna find Time Walk? Doesn't have a second blue. Tapped out a blue. Definitely has an ancestral cooking though. We've seen the ancestral. Oust. We can force him to give us a card here. I think going to one's fine. Solitude. That is wicked. That is the most disgusting thing I think I could have drawn. I think I'm just gonna main phase the Solitude. Never mind, I don't have to anymore. Because I can just go Glimmer Lens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is better. And then I should probably just think about counter spells and exile this now. Maybe I could have mana crypted and then Smuggler's Coptered, but like you can Smuggler's Copter equip GT, but I think this is just safer. We've already cleared the one board clear. If I win this game, I'm gonna be really happy. Well, of course, winning makes me happy, but this was definitely a game that was set to lose. If he just has second board clear, okay, prime time does nothing. That card is worthless. Or next to. Like, what two lands do you even get? Island, Forest, Plains, Tundra, Temple Garden. Ooh, actually, I think my phone has Field of the Dead. Nope, Caracas and Lush Portico. Actually, never mind. This is Esper Sentinel. Play the Sentinel. Copter. This has Trample. I think I'm still just attacking with Copter here. Question is, do I attack with Solitude and stuff? A first strike creature here would go crazy. I think attacking with all's right. You don't need mana crypt. Okay, double lands, not optimal. Yeah, this is a really fun game. Even if we end up losing. Cameo, Sunfall, Ancestral. I mean, what are you gonna get with Ancestral with 2 mana though? Like, I don't know what's gonna come down here. Wooded Foothills. Okay, 3 mana. That opens up a lot of plays, like Ewit. This wasn't the Field of the Dead opponent. I'll just take 6. That's a little bit of a bummer. Yeah, GG, actually. We win. Copter. Oh. Opponent didn't force me to use GT. Should have attacked with Spellseeker as well there, I guess. Deal 7 to you. Squish! Alright, that was a good final game at least. Even though we went 1 and 2. Alright. Well, I gotta get ready to start recording that podcast. Turns out talking for 3.5 hours straight, probably not the smartest thing to do before getting into a podcast. I trophied yesterday on a personal account, sadly, not live, but I can trophy anywhere but live, that's for sure. Thank you all for stopping by for the tech stream and also for, you know, going into the cube. I'm gonna see if I can find someone to raid on Twitch. Stick around for the raid. You can get free channel points by raiding people. Last night my raid wasn't working though, so let's see if it works today. Magic the Gathering. Who is live right now? Man. There's not a lot of people live right now. I guess it is like 10 p.m., huh? I guess we can look at Duskmorn cards with Isaiah MTG. Send you guys off. You were unable to raid at this time. Why is my rating not working? Ah, I see, I see. There's probably like a limit. I don't understand. Is 11 viewers not good enough for some people? Terrible. What about the big friendly gamer? We were unable to raid. Yeah, there's a few people who might have stream raids turned off. All right, one more attempt. And then it's over. No, you can set a limit. You can set a Florida rating. How about Mercurio Blue? You seem cool. Nope. Okay. No one gets raided. I hate everyone on this platform. No one's getting a raid. I'm toxic. I'm evil. I'll figure out what's wrong, if anything. It's probably just that people have raids turned off. Thanks for stopping by, like I said.